Hey everybody, what we're going to be tying today is a March Brown parachute pattern, a dry fly. It's a good pattern to have in your box in the spring and summer, so let's get started here. For materials, we're going to use a size 14 dry fly hook, a 101. This happens to be an Allen. For the body, we're going to use a buyout off a brown goose feather. Okay, tails will be micro tibbets. Okay. We're going to have, for dubbing, hare's ear plus tan. Then the post material will be from Antron yarn, be a white. And then the hackle will be just a brown tri-fly hackle. So let's get started. So we've got our hook and the vise already, and the thread we're going to be using is Uni 8/0. This is dark brown, but you could also use rusty brown. I like that also. So what we're going to do is post up here first, and we're just going to tie our thread in, trim that off, and we're going to take a little section of this Antron yarn, and we're just going to wrap it up on top of the hook, and just post it up like this. See where we're at. That's about right. Okay, and then we're going to come around a couple, 3 times. Just wrap forward and back, and then come like that, then come up that post a little bit. Okay, once you've got that done, trim that just a little bit. Now this is not going to be our final length, but kind of get some of this junk out of the way. So what we're going to do at this point is come back to the back of the hook. Just building up a little body right there. Now once I'm there at the bend of the hook, I'm going to make a couple free wraps on top of itself. And the point in this is we're going to take these micro tibbets, and I've got 4 or 5 here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place them here about the length of the hook, squeeze them on top of the hook, and just wrap over them. Okay, and what that thread wrap does, the 2 or 3 wraps on top of itself, it splays those feathers a little bit. You don't need much, but just it helps spread those the tail tips out. Helps the fly sit better in the water, helps balance it. Okay, I'm just going to trim those off. Come back to the back. Now if you wanted to, you could certainly put some thread between those tippets, micro tippets back in the back, if you wanted to splay them a little bit more. I kind of like them just the way they are right there. Alright, so once we're at this stage, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these bites from that goose feather. Now this one I've wet down for a minute or 2. It just makes it work better. And this has got a curved, a concave, and a convex side to it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take and put the concave side towards you. Alright, and then just tie that thing in. Just loose wrap right there so you don't sever the bite. Come up towards the front. Trim it right there. Okay, and I'm going to come back to the back just a bit, come a little further back. I'm going to come back towards the front, and I'm going to build just a little tiny bit of taper into this thing with my thread. Okay, about like that. Then I'm going to place my thread towards the front of that post. Okay. Now at this stage, what I like to do is take a little bit of Sally Hansen's cement. Just put a dab right there. And what that does is it just strengthens up this body a little bit. When you start catching fish on it, it will, that's usually the first part that will tear. And then we're going to take and just going to wrap towards the front. And what this is doing is giving us a segmented body here. Okay. There we go. And we're going to take this to the front and just tie that off. Okay. Good. And trim that up. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to take this dry fly hackle. I'm going to just strip a little bit off the edge, and we're going to tie this thing down. We're going to put the shiny side toward us. Okay, we're going to tie that in towards the back of this post. Okay, and then we're going to come up to the front and just lock it in right here. Trim that little excess off there. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to hold this up against the post. Going to wrap up just a little bit, and what this is going to do is just going to get it out of our way. Because when we wrap this hackle back down, we're going to wrap from up here back down towards the hook. Okay, so this just kind of gets us where we want to be. Alright, now we've got this out of the way, so what we're going to do, we're going to use just a little bit of wax here. And I'm going to take a bit of dubbing, and we're going to dub forward on this thing. Now, this is really nymph dubbing, but I kind of like this a little bit better for this fly. It just gives a little buggier look. I'm going to come back behind a wrap or two, then we're going to come forward. Okay. And you're going to want to look at it, make sure now it's a little tiny bit thin there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put just a tiny bit more dubbing on this. And just wrap that forward just like that. I'm going to leave this behind the post on the tail side of the post. At this point, we're going to take and we're going to just put our hook at a 90-degree angle in the vise. Okay. And we're going to just take this hackle, going to wrap it 3 to 4 times. Around that post. Okay, ending up near the hook. Okay, and we're going to take our thread and we're just going to come just like that. Okay, tighten that down just a little bit. At this stage, trim that feather out of there. And now you're ready to whip finish. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you're going to take this and just set that back up. Trim out these unwanted hair. Oops. Alright. Trim out this unwanted hackle right here. I got a little messy here, but it'll still fit fish and trim out a little bit of this juicy stuff. At this stage, you trim the post up the way you want it. There you go. Enjoy.